Hi, my name is Christy Reynoso, and I play basketball here at Long Beach State. So I'm a Mexican American. I grew up in a very supportive household, and the reason why I started playing basketball is at my elementary school when I was really young in kindergarten. There was a local park promoting their basketball program, and I told my parents that I wanted to try out basketball. What inspired me to start is just noticing that there's not much representation in basketball, being Latina, and I want to be one of the people that paves the way for younger Latina athletes. A couple things about me is that I grew up in a very supportive household, and I'm very thankful that I had very supportive parents. They always told me no matter what you want to achieve in life, we'll be there to support you along the way and be there for you. And I'm very grateful to have very supportive parents and to get closer with my family. In my childhood, I was very blessed that my mom had a very flexible schedule, so she was always with me, taking me around the city to practices, to games. And with my dad, he was a little bit more of working a lot, so he would always be with us on the weekends and be there at the tournaments. And I'm just very blessed that my mom was able to take me to everywhere around the city, and especially when I didn't have an opportunity to drive yet. Some players that I looked up to when I started, when I was really young, I always wore number 3, and that was because of Chris Paul. And when I watched his games, he was always one of the smallest players on the court, and that really resembled me. And another player that I really looked up to is Kobe Bryant, and I'm very fortunate to have built a relationship with him in 8th grade. Now I think a lot of the women's college basketball, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and Juju, my former teammate, they're all paving the way, and I think they're all good people to look up to in this game. I think some of the challenges that I faced in this sport is probably just the stereotypes and people thinking that you're not as good as you are, and I'm one of those type of people that just let their game talk for themselves. I think a lot of the stereotypes, especially being a female athlete and being Latina, is just a lot of people think that because you're Mexican, oh, you're gonna go into soccer or some other type of sport, and I feel like I'm really breaking the norms, and I want to show that it's possible for other people that look like me to be able to break the norms. I think the best piece of advice that I've received from my coaches here at Long Beach is just to always stay ready, and that there's always an opportunity, and just to never slack off, because there's always an open opportunity. Something can always happen. I think mental health is a really big thing in sports, especially in college. And I feel like in high school, I struggled a lot with mental health and keeping my confidence up. My mental health in college, I've just learned to stay positive, and your road might not be easy, it might not be the story that you wanted initially, but I learned that just to stay positive, to keep a positive and supportive circle around you, and just to keep going and don't stop or take a step back on your work ethic. I think a really meaningful moment that I will always remember is my sophomore year of high school, when we made it to the state championship, and I played with limited minutes, and I went 5 for 5 in that game, 4 for 4 behind the 3, and I think it was just really memorable for me because we ended up winning, and we were in a big stadium, big game, and I was just going off, so it was just a really big moment for me. Like I said, I believe that Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, and Juju, they're really helping the game grow and develop, and NIL is a really big platform in today's college sports, and I think that with more and more representation on the rise, and the ability and the use of NIL is just a really big up and growing thing. As a Latina, I noticed that I can have some impact on the younger generation, as After my games, I notice that the youth comes up to me and asks me for pictures or autographs. So I'm very thankful that I have a lot of support from my people, and I just want to keep being a trailblazer and proving that I made it this far, and so can you. I think my words of wisdom that I can offer to the audience is just to don't be afraid to break the norms and just be you. Nothing's better than your authentic self. Practices usually vary by day, but sometimes some days of the week we'll start at like 8:15 with film, and then we'll do weights at 8:30 and then practice at 9. So with all of that, usually I wake up an hour before practice starts. So I'll wake up around like 7:15, and I'll get to the gym by 7:30, 7:45. Practice usually goes for about 2 hours. So usually my day is from 8:15 to like 11, and usually I have classes at 12:30, and I'm not done with my day sometimes until 5. We usually practice about like 5-6 days out of the week, so sometimes we get 2 days off, or we'll just get 1 day off. It just depends on our schedule. Yeah, I get a lot of shots up, so I just make sure that my shot stays consistent, and some days when I'm free, like when I have more of a lighter day, then I'll get a trainer involved, and sometimes I'll have to go to where the trainer is, or I'll have the trainer come to the pyramid. Some things that help me stay sharp is just mental reps and just envisioning the ball go through the basket and just getting a lot of rest and stretching. Some like pregame routines that I have is I usually put my right shoe on, right sock on first, and I usually tie my right shoe first, so everything has to go through the right first. I like to eat before the game. I try to like at least have a full enough stomach, because usually we warm up at least more than an hour before the game, so I kind of get really hungry if I don't eat. So yeah, and then post game I just make sure I eat as well. Nutrition's really big for me. Just whatever my family's feeling, but yeah, I definitely like salmon and rice and vegetables. Since I'm a guard, people just automatically think that I'm just a catch and shoot shooter, but I like to also just incorporate some dribbles to get into my shot, just create space and make a move off the shot. So the way that I start my workouts is just with some soft shots around the rim. Gradually just get a feel for it, and then just go around the rim. And yeah. Then I take a couple steps back, soft shots, gradually go around the rim. Then a couple more steps back, now I'm at mid-range. Then I go around the rim, and now I'm at the 3-point line. Bread and butter.